viewers. So, my name is Quinn, for those of you that haven't been on my Periscope before. I'm from Elk Grove, California. I'm an entrepreneur, aspiring inspirational speaker. My heart is really with helping the unfortunate. Hi, Jose. And for the animals, my big dream is, I have a lot of dreams. One of them is to retire my parents. Another one is to just travel the world. And I do see myself being a part of a big cause, just to be able to donate or start something on my own, a shelter, something like that. And we're here at the Sacramento airport waiting to pick up a very special leader that's in town. We have the opportunity to introduce someone at a training that we do every single month, so I'm just grateful. We're just waiting. His flight got delayed. His name is Dave Madsen. He's awesome. And I just wanted to talk about entrepreneurship and just about life. So I titled this Periscope, Are You Following Your Passion? Because sometimes we forget to make time to dive into that, or even wonder, what is it that I'm meant to do? We're so used to the normal habits, the normal day, the normal routine where you just go to work and then you're just so busy, right? If you're a mom, you're picking up your kids, you go home and make food, and then it just repeats. And then weeks turns into months turns into years, and then all of a sudden you're like, hello, what happened? And so I truly believe that there comes a point in our lives where we feel like that, and we start wondering, we start thinking about starting something for our own, and just following your passions, or maybe just to have no way to go about doing that. And so I actually wanted to interview or feature someone that's with me right now. His name is Arik.
Hi.
Say hi. And I think he would be perfect for this Periscope because he grew up around businesses, So some of us, like me, I grew up just around what I was familiar with, and I was just familiar with like my friends and family just going to a job. And I was still trying to figure out what it is that I wanted to do in life. Yeah, I think Arik would be the perfect person on this Periscope today. Just some of the things that he's learned, because even though you're starting, he started a business on his own. So Arik, you started entrepreneurship at a very young age. He's trying to have some music go on. Anyway, so I had some questions about some people out there who are thinking, because some people, they start wondering starting something on their own, and but then what we're learning today is that the world is changing. Business owners are starting to drift off into a different industry where you're connecting. Can you just kind of share some of your things that you've learned?
What do you want me to share?
Anything inspiring.
It's hard to be inspiring when you put on the spot.
Just don't worry about Periscope. Don't worry about other people. You started me. So you started your own business at 22. Can you tell me how that even happened at the age of 22 years old? 22 or 23, right?
All right, so pretty much, I think I'm just a reflection of my parents. My parents are self-employed, and I did the job thing. I'm not downing jobs. If you have one, great. It just wasn't for me, and at that time I couldn't really figure out, I couldn't really articulate the things that I can now at that time. And my first job was being a waiter. I was a waiter at an old people's home, and it just never felt right. I always felt like my time and my effort was really valuable, but I just didn't know what I was looking for. So I went from that job to another job and to another job. And for some reason I was like, is it the job or is it me? And what I realized, it was just me. I was just designed to not be an employee and stuck in that whole employee quadrant. Now I was always looking for something that I can build, something that I have ownership of, something that I can start from the ground up and then call it my own, and then something I can bring back and give back as far as like my family or my kids when I have some. And then I got started in the cell phone industry. I didn't know anything about opening up a traditional business. I didn't know anything about overhead, or I didn't know anything about human resources or anything. But my parents always told me that when you provide a good service to people, if you treat people really good, they'll always come back for your services. And I always knew how to work really, 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 really hard. My work ethic is an extension, again, from my parents. They work really, 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 really hard so they can provide better opportunities for their children that they didn't have when they were growing up. So I just took that work ethic and then took that wisdom that my parents taught me into the cell phone space. And even then, in that traditional business model, I came to a point in my life about almost 10 years later where I just came from a place where I felt like my life's work wasn't really my life's purpose. And I always knew that there has to be something bigger or greater than this. There has to be something more than just slaving my life to this daily routine for such a minimal amount of compensation for that effort. And I just didn't know how to attain it. I didn't know how to get it, and my parents, they can only teach me how to be as successful as they've attained, and how do I get to that next level, and how do I level up? And, and I believe in, the universe, and I believe in God, and I was just praying for something more in my life, and I was just praying for something of significance, and I was praying for something of purpose. And, it's a funny thing because, the universe doesn't bless you with what you want until you're ready for it, and somebody introduced me to an industry that really made sense. What I was really looking for was something that was even worth my time, right? And what I found was mentorship. Mentorship is everything when you're looking for something. You need to find somebody that's proven. You need to find somebody that has the lifestyle that you want, that has the wisdom, that has an experience, right? You can't talk to somebody that's broke trying to teach you how to be successful. If you talk to somebody that's broke, you're gonna end up broke. You can't have the blind leading the blind. That's pretty much what I'm trying to say. So first of all, when I was blessed with a mentor, what I've learned is the funny thing about mentorship, or the great thing about mentorship is when you're ready for that wisdom, when you're ready to receive that wisdom, because they have knowledge, they have something that you don't know, right? The only difference between anybody who's successful and somebody who's not is they just know something, right? So when you find that mentor, you have to really value that mentor's time, because if that mentor is willing to invest their time into you and to pour into you, then you need to value that, So I was just kind of blessed with mentorship, and they kind of put me on game on how the world works. And that was a missing puzzle piece. I didn't understand how the world worked, as far as how did money work. And once you understand how money works and how the world works, then you'll understand where you fit into this world. And then once you understand where you fit into this world, then you'll understand where you need to be or where you want to be. Because in order for you to get to where you want to be, you need to have a very specific goal. You need to have vision. You need to know exactly where you want to be and where you want to go. But again, if you don't know where you're at, how do you know where you're going to go, right? So that's the beauty of mentorship, because wisdom is knowledge without waiting. Wisdom is experience. And if you're humble enough or courageous enough to ask for assistance or ask for help, that's one thing I hold a credit to myself too, is I'm not afraid to ask somebody to teach me something, especially if they have especially if they're proven, especially if they have what I want. So what they taught me was just how the world is changing. And if you're not waking up to how the world is changing, if you're not waking up to the shifts, then you're going to be on the back end. You don't want to be on the back end of everything. In order for you to capture an opportunity, you have to be at the forefront of that opportunity, right? So they kind of just told me about, the 4 quadrants. Robert Kiyrosaki, definitely YouTube that. If you don't know who Robert Kiyrosaki, then you're missing out big time. Maybe you're not familiar with his name, but maybe you're familiar with his work. He wrote a series called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. The book that I recommend that my mentor showed me was The Business of the 21st Century. There's a chapter in there talking about the 4 quadrants, which I was talking to you about. The other thing that they told me about was just, again, we're not in the industrial age anymore. The whole clocking in and clocking out and working for a company or corporation and hoping that you can retire by the time you're 65. That system doesn't really work anymore, and we know that because if we look at people that, the generation before us, if you look at them, they're not retiring and they're not leaving their job. So you got to kind of like recognize what's going on right now, because it's not going to get any better. So what's the solution? The solution is you have to recognize where the world is shifting. So where did we shift to? Well, we shift from the industrial age into now the information age. now the technology age. Technology is literally revolutionizing the way that we can create an income for ourselves. I mean, we're literally leveraging technology right now.
Yep, look at Periscope. It's blowing up, right? I mean, this is crazy.
Right, so there's literally no excuse anymore to not be an entrepreneur in this age. There's so many social media platforms to leverage yourself with, to get your voice known, to brand yourself, you know. And these are some of the things that these books that my mentor has told me to start studying and put me on game about has really helped me and transform my life financially, and transformed but more importantly, not just transform my life, but helping other people transform their life. I'll leave it with this. My mentor told me that the purpose of life essentially is really just this, is to find your gift. And once you find your gift, then it's gonna lead you to your purpose. And once you find your purpose, the true way to find happiness is to give your purpose and gift back to other people, you know, and transfer that knowledge and transfer that wisdom, so you can leave an echo and a ripple effect to affect other people, you know, because the decision that you make today will affect the lives of many, many, many other people. You just don't know. Somebody out there is waiting for you to be great. Somebody out there is waiting for you to take a chance. And somebody is waiting for you to inspire them, you know. And we're all blessed with this gift of emotion and spirituality. We're blessed with that, you know, and we're all interconnected with one another. So, you know, I kind of go on the tangent. I try to talk.
That tangent was good.
I try to speak from my heart, and I appreciate everybody's time. Thanks for tuning in. And I'm still learning. Another great book that I'm reading is Motivation Manifesto by Brendon Burchard. If you don't know who that guy is, definitely research him on YouTube. He's an incredible motivation.
Brendon Burchard.
Burchard. Personal development is real, you guys. You have to personally develop yourself. You can't be doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting something different to happen. So, you know, Quinn, thanks for
thank you. That was perfect timing. I think the guest that we're picking up just texted us. So, you guys, and kind of like what he was saying, I just do want to leave something. The world will never see how great you are if you don't bring it out. And if you don't know how to bring it out, hang around with people who, you know, that has found that within themselves already. I can't tell you, my world has completely changed just from changing my environment, who I hang around with, what I read, what I watch, what I listen to. It's just been amazing. You guys have a great day. It's Friday. It's sunny here in California, Elk Grove. It's not raining, so I'm happy about that. But I'll see you guys later. And to the replay viewers, thanks for tuning in. Find me on Facebook, please. Connect with me on there. I love hearing people's stories, and I'm all about being connected. You know, my thing is connect, educate, and inspire. So